Hello and welcome to Red Stain Radio, a Dead by Daylight podcast. I am one of your hosts, Bryson, and I'm joined by Stevie.
Hello.
And Maddie.
Yo!
Thank you all for being here. How are we doing this wonderful week? It's still hot where I am. I just wish summer would end already, please.
I mean, I'm a winter hater, so I will take the sun and the heat as long as I can get.
Oh man, I'd rather have
I'm in a rainy city. I've got tons of rain.
Must be nice.
Comes down in
love rain.
buckets.
Oh, I love rain. Love it. Cool. Well, this is episode 4. We're going to be covering the Walking Dead announcement, the PTB patch notes, and kind of our discussions or our thoughts on all that stuff because there's a lot to take in there. However, we have some housekeeping to get to first. The Grimoire reopened, and we have some results from the first round of editing. First of all, if you're unfamiliar, this is the community-created, voted chapter that we released on the 10-year anniversary. Voting is every 2 weeks. It appears like it's going to be opening on Fridays and then closing on Mondays. So we're recording this on July 14th. It is already closed. I think it closed at 12 p.m. Eastern. In 2 weeks, be sure to check out that again. Again, look for in-game messages and look for their socials. And we got some results from the first vote. So we got Collapse World for the Survivor. That was a 34% vote majority. And then Otherworldly won for the Killer. I think a lot of people are vibing with the Angelic or the Parasitic for the Killer. And then for the Survivor, I'm already blanking on what they were because I think they were kind of forgettable. Does anyone here remember maybe? I don't remember.
I'll be honest, I did not vote in the second one.
I forgot to vote too, but I did see it.
I didn't take a look at it. My vote for the first week was not the one everyone liked, so I felt like, well, fuck me if I don't choose it, I don't want to be part of the building of it. If people, Werewolf would be sick. I'm sorry, I wanted to do a generic slasher again.
Yeah. But for Survivor, I can't remember them all, but I do know that for both Survivor and Killer, they had the 2 runner-ups for the last voting, for the first round of votes as options, so we could go back to that if we wanted. Like for Killer, if we didn't really like Collapsed or Otherworldly, we could have swapped it to Chimeric, for example.
Right. Yeah.
But just looking online.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No.
Going.
I was going to say a lot of people seem to be vibing for the Killer side, the Angelic or the Parasitic. I voted for Parasitic myself just because that sounded like something really unique that we don't have in DbD. You know, a lot of people have been wanting a Thing chapter, myself included. Something like that would be kind of cool, but I'm totally down for Angelic as well.
Yes.
Was this week's framed like it had the 2 of the last weeks and then 2 new ones? Was it a 50-50 split?
Yeah.
That makes me think that they're kind of doing a bracket in behind the scenes. It's not like a traditional yes or no, this one won it, we're going to go with this one. They're going to really weight certain ones. You're going to see them reappear. You're going to be able to reconsider like further down the line.
There's still hope for the Werewolf Killer.
I think that's right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's great because right now you also don't need a behavior account to vote. Like anyone who has the URL can vote. So I'm hoping they change that because I would really love it to just people who are committed to DbD can vote. I just don't want a bunch of bots going in there and influencing it.
And I hope people who don't play the game might feel encouraged. That like people who just like following the game for the lore or just like the characters, people who maybe picked up the game once or twice but really just follow their favorite streamers or just like when the game is updated. People who enjoy the game outside of playing it, they can still vote even if they don't have their account or they never linked their behavior account because they don't play anymore.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is nice. I like that. And then we also have the community cosmetic contest still going on. You can submit your cosmetics till July 24th. Be sure to check out the restrictions for that. Again, you can't submit for Sable, Unknown, Jake, Singularity, Adam, and Dredge. I've seen a bunch of community cosmetics through Reddit, on Blue Sky, TikTok, and there's just so many good ones. I am just in awe of how many I love. There's so many badges and banners I want. I've seen a bunch of Tori Kane ones.
Same here.
Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. Sorry, my dog's in the background.
Yeah, dog agrees.
Yes,
Let's talk about it. I think Tori Kane is kind of she's not the new Sable, but she's the new girl right now, and she's kind of living in it. And since they banned Sable from being given another community choice again.
Yeah.
I think for the
I think
best.
Tori Kane deserves it. She's kind of the fangirl right now.
Agreed.
He's a bad bitch.
I'll buy anything they release for her.
Oh, same. I also think she has, like, in terms of, like, based on her lore and her backstory, she just has a lot of potential there. And she also just doesn't have a ton of cosmetics as of now. Like, she has two, like, purple ones that they just came out with, like the casual one recently, and then her, like, cult get up, which I love. But yeah, totally want to see
Immediately
more
bought
of her.
both.
Same.
They're so fun to mix together. You
And
get
let's not
to put the
forget-
fun mullet on the cultist one, and then it's like that's a fun combo because then people look at you and you're like, it's the all white Tory Kane.
Yeah.
Mullet on.
And let's not forget
Armor
that
on.
she also got a Blood Moon skin, and then that went away because they made it so you could only get it during the event.
Oh,
Yay.
that's right. That's right. So unfortunate. So yeah,
You live
very
in
much
a
looking forward to
society.
seeing more of those. I just keep seeing a ton, and I'm here for it for sure. And the anniversary event has been extended to July 24th. This will be taking place of Chaos Shuffle, which we're no longer getting because Behavior has delayed an anti-slugging mechanic that failed internal tests. They weren't happy with it, so they're going to be delaying that. That would have came alongside Chaos Shuffle. And I'm realizing back when we were discussing our Year 10 roadmap discussion, I guess we knew it was Chaos Shuffle all along, which is unfortunate because I think we had a long discussion about us not wanting Chaos Shuffle again. So
You were excited. You got your wish.
yeah, that's true. I'm excited for
However,
more Annie.
if you notice the new anniversary, they said it's going to come with another week of anniversary. You're going to get to play the game mode for another week, but they're going to give you another set of Rift Pass challenges
Yes.
for that following week, and you're going to get rewarded more anniversary currency to spend.
Which gives
But what
more
are you going
PvP.
to spend it on? They added more rewards to the store. If you go to peek at it,
Oh,
you
I
can
did
spend
not
your
see
excess
that.
currency. It's going to be the rewards, the charms, the banners that were going to be in this year's Chaos Shuffle that they kind of had to pack up.
Oh.
They're rolling it into the extended anniversary. So if you're somebody who already completed all of it and you're looking for something to do, you now have another week and some more banners to collect.
Nice. I did not see that. That's great to
Yep.
see. Thank you. Yeah, so there's that. And then the last thing is we want to hear from you, listeners. Send us questions, comments, and episode ideas. You can email us at redstainradio@gmail.com. Please send us your emails. That is the last
Love
of
to hear more
housekeeping.
from y'all.
Absolutely. That's the end of housekeeping. Let's jump into the 9.1 update, y'all. The Walking Dead is coming to DbD. I think that
They're
was probably
here.
the most spoon-fed, spoon-fed teaser that DbD or that Behavior's given us in a while. Am I wrong with that? With the whole
I think you're not wrong.
the ones
This
who
is the
live.
most they've spent on marketing, I'd say.
Yeah, which, some characters have not gotten so much love for. One that comes to mind is Lara Croft. She kind of just
I was gonna say Lara Croft
came out.
too.
Yeah, like, poor girl. She didn't
No
get any
fanfare.
teasing. Yeah, weird. Especially for such a beloved
She was a
character.
surprise.
So, The Walking Dead's coming to DbD. It's 2 licensed survivors. I saw some people online complaining that there's no killer or map. We knew this wasn't going to be the case. Like, we knew there was going to be a map or a killer. So, and I get that people maybe want Negan or some other killers. When it comes to adding a villain from The Walking Dead, I do not know what you would give them as an ability. Like, if you put Negan as the
Yeah.
killer, what is his power? Like, I don't, and I'm sure they're good concepts. I just, from the top of my mind, I can't think of anything.
Exactly. There's no version of Negan that would be running through the woods. There's no version of Negan that would kick a pallet. He would laugh at you for doing that and say,
Exactly.
yeah. It'd be a lot more fitting to add one of the killers of Dead not make one of the killers from Walking Dead, but turn one of them into a survivor. Give them a reason to be running from something scary. Put them on the other side.
Absolutely. So the 2
However-
Oh, go ahead.
What we did get is a lot more important. We did get the real survivors from The Walking Dead. Adding
gosh,
a
yes.
murderous person is not what The Walking Dead is about. It's about our survivors.
And if you think about it, the survivors are somewhat killers in their own right. If you see The Walking Dead, you know. And so with that, we're getting 2 licensed survivors. We're getting Rick Grimes and we're getting Michonne, which they use Michonne Grimes here, which is the show, her last name. But in the comics, her last name is Hawthorne, which I thought was interesting. But the OG actor, I can't think of her name, who plays Michonne, is not going to be voicing her. But Andrew Lincoln will be voicing Rick Grimes, and Daryl Dixon, the legendary cosmetic, will be voiced by Norman Reedus, which is really cool. These character models, for the most part, look good, except we got to talk about Rick's face, y'all. What is going on?
Yeah, I was waiting.
What is happening?
He's a little squashed.
And I've seen side by sides of him in the lobby and in game, and he looks fine in game. I think it could be better, but it looks really bad in the lobby.
Oh, are you? I imagine it is just the lobby, the lighting in the pre-game, things like that always show up weird.
But, like, here's the thing, though, Stevie. Like, you look at Michonne and Daryl, they look amazing.
amazing.
Especially Michonne.
It's probably the most one-to-one recreation
Agreed.
of her
Agreed.
that could
And
ever
you look at
exist.
Rick, and he's just there. He's Play-Doh. He's like, if you have you in there, but, like, creepier. I'm
Yeah,
scared.
you look at Michonne in game, and it's like, this is a fake fan-made model. We're playing a mod. You look at Rick Grimes, and you're like, that's classic behavior.
It's like the Wish.com of Rick Grimes. I have that.
Exactly.
I have the same sentiment towards Ripley and some of the other actors that they try to represent. But yeah, he's also got
100%.
the lean. I don't know if y'all have seen him. He's like leaning like Rick does. I
Like
hate
just
it.
like
I
hand
hate
on the
it.
hip. Yep,
Yeah,
they
it's
want to
just-
emulate it.
Like he's like leaning forward kind of towards the camera, and it just looks stupid. I don't know. I just like the other day I was looking and I was like spinning him around in lobby, and I was like, he looks so goofy. But I don't know.
Okay, tell me one of the licensed men characters that is not goofy. Is Nick Cage not goofy?
Yeah, that's fair.
Is
He's-
Geralt of Riviera not goofy? Is Steve Harrington not goofy?
Steve Harrington is the
Is Bill
embodiment of
Overbeck
goofy.
serious?
I mean, he smokes. He's got a smoking buddy now. Daryl smokes. He's got an
Does
idol
have a
animation.
smoky buddy.
Oh
my
it's
God.
so great. It's so great. But with Rick Grimes and Michonne comes new perks, which are really exciting. And we have some interesting stuff here that really shakes up and I don't know if it shakes up the meta, but like really shakes up gameplay and some really just fun builds I've seen all around. So I'll run through Rick real quick. And I have some comments on these. Apocalyptic Ingenuity. After unlocking or rummaging through 2 chests, you can press the ability button to create a fragile pallet. So they're essentially anniversary pallets, and they're marked with an X on the inside of the pallet. And so if a pallet's been broken, you can go to that later after you've rummaged or unlocked 2 chests. Press that activate ability, and you can create a fragile pallet. So essentially when you throw it, it will break upon impact. So you essentially have to get a stun for it. You also get Come and Get Me. After unhooking a survivor, crouch in place and press the ability button to scream. Reveal your aura to the killer and suppress injured and dying survivors within 24 meters. They don't have scratch marks or pools of blood for up to 15 seconds. I love this perk. It also has a really cool art, which I think is like Rick screaming, which I think is pulled straight from the show, which is really cool. And then you have a teamwork ability, of course. They're going to introduce these. They did these with Thalita and Renato, and I don't think we've seen any more of these. Am I right? Like those are the only ones we've had?
Correct.
Cool.
We'll
So
see one of them with Michonne's perks, but
Yeah,
no, the
yeah.
last time we got them and the only time we got them was with
Yeah.
the duo who were related, so it
Mm.
does make sense that we get a teamwork perk.
Totally. And this teamwork
Off
perk
people
is
like that.
Toughen Up. When another survivor pallet stuns or blinds the killer while you are injured, and within 24 meters, your grunts of pain, scratch marks, and pools of blood are reduced by 100% for up to 30 seconds. So I think
Yeah, let's talk about Rick's perks.
Yeah, let's start here. So I have an issue with Apocalyptic Ingenuity. First of all,
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah.
which part?
on two levels. One, the activation requirement is a bit lengthy. Rummaging and
Bingo.
unlocking 2 chests is I mean, unless you bring a key, which we'll discuss. They've changed keys, how they work.
I think the best way to make value out of that is you also bring Moment of Glory. You go look at Trevor, and then now every time you unlock 2 chests, you heal 1 health state and can make a new palette.
Yeah, that's true.
Your build is about pulling items out of chests and passively making it worth anything.
So the activation requirement is, I think, a little bit lengthy unless you bring perks to accompany that or an item.
Very lengthy.
And it's a fragile palette. If you do not get a stun with it, it is a waste. And other survivors have to realize it is a fragile palette. I've seen people have clips of like, I wonder if they know that's a fragile palette, and they throw it down and it's not, and they go down. So it's not, and the X is there, but it's not all that clear, I would say. So in terms of mechanically, that's my issue with it. Stevie, I'll jump to you first. Your thoughts?
You said it all. That's it. It's got 2 problems with it, and it's the 2 parts of it.
Yeah.
If it was a fresh palette, that would be too strong. I think 2 chests is pretty rough. I think it could do with like a little bit of a change, something more closely aligned with like a blast mine. It should be you're progressing the game, and you also get a reward for staying alive. But if they want people to be searching chests, go for it. I think 2 chests might be a bit of a problem, just as far as activating it. Yeah. With the key changes we'll see later, I think it'll probably be fine. But it just seems so clunky for such little value, especially for new players.
Yeah. Maddie, your thoughts?
Honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a perk, but I don't think it's like any good either. I think it's kind of gonna be forgotten. Like, it's memey, so I kind of feel like it's gonna have the same use as like red herring.
Yeah.
But people aren't really gonna use it because not only do you have to go to chests, which aren't really gonna be used, even with the changes that they added to keys and such, which we'll get later to in this episode. I just think the whole temporary palettes, you have to like set them up too. It's not like instant like an anniversary.
Right.
So I feel like it's gonna be very situational and overall not very good.
Yeah, I maybe see this being paired with if you want to get some value out of this, because even if you stun the killer with this, it is only for a few seconds that you can make some distance. And if you're wounded, I don't know if that distance is enough, depending on where you are in a map. But I'm not sure. You'd probably have to run a smash hit with this if you want any kind of value with it. So, and that's if you haven't triggered it already in that chase. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm interested in it. I think Come and Get Me and Toughen Up are okay perks. Like, I think Come and Get Me is really cool if you're doing like a altruistic kind of anti-tunneling build. You can definitely use that for killers who may be BMing one survivor within your game.
You really think? I think it could be sometimes an anti-tunnel perk. It's really hard to see it's used as that when it doesn't do something as concrete as like Shoulder the Burden does, or like Borrow the Time or Wiglif, which do a lot of work in preventing killers from doing it. This one kind of gives killers more of an incentive not to tunnel. Shut up the guy who's screaming, or look for scratch marks hidden, blood pools hidden, survivors. It gives you a kind of a choice as a killer, which I like.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like a strict anti-tunnel perk, but mixed with that thematic meme.
Well said. And then Teamwork Toughen Up it's a teamwork perk. I think we've all kind of agreed. There's not a lot of I don't think any of the teamwork perks are that great, other than maybe the healing one, which is the Thalita. Is that the Thalita perk, right?
Yeah. So you're thinking Power of Two, because they are both healing perks. They both activate on healing.
Yeah, that's true. The one that gives you haste if you say each other's
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Power of Two. Yeah. You heal another survivor. Yes. You heal another survivor, and then you both get haste.
Yeah.
The other teamwork perk is you get healed by another survivor, and you both get scratch marks hidden.
Right.
It's a little silly, but it makes sense when you consider they're both on 2 different survivors who would be healing each other, which is how these teamwork perks work, where they're on 2 different survivors who are implied to be in the same pallet stun interaction or blind killer interaction, which is kind of cute.
Yeah. So you can run this with your duo.
Yeah.
And so I guess conceptually, I have an issue with apocalyptic ingenuity. As someone who has seen The Walking Dead, I've read a large bulk of the comics. This conceptually, this doesn't really make sense to me for a Rick Grimes perk. I get that it's like, oh, apocalyptic ingenuity, you have to kind of like scrap and be scrappy and put things together, but I just don't find it to fit his character. I feel like this has been shoehorned in just so that we have a rebuild palette perk that people won for 2v8. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, you're right.
He's not a scavenger. He doesn't unlock 2 chests. He's a leader. He gives buffs to nearby teammates. He's supposed to be doing that. He's supposed to be helping defend his weaker comrades. He's supposed to be doing stuff like that. That's why the other 2 perks feel right, but this one, it feels stapled on. But they were trying to bundle in a lot of mechanics they already liked, and when they test mechanics, they quickly want to add them. It's easy content.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like one of the new items in the game. Cough, cough.
Brand new.
It's a
Seen it for
recharging
2
fog
years.
crystal. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So before we move on to Michonne's perks, any last comments here?
Honestly, they gotta buff them. I'm sorry.
By
Rick's
Rick
perks
Grimes
aren't
if you
great.
like Walking Dead, but his perks aren't going to be anything super special.
Yeah.
They're going to be fun to combo with other perks. That's definitely their
Yes.
point.
Absolutely. And now on to Michonne, who may have some interesting perks here based on some plays I've seen. So she comes with 3 perks. Conviction. After healing any survivor while downed with at least 25% recovery, press the ability button to recover instantly. You become broken, and then you're downed again after 30 seconds. So I actually used this in the BTB against a Pyramid Head who was slugging, and I got myself up and moved away from where he was. And then went down again, and then a survivor came and picked me up. So I thought this was great, but I also saw people pairing this with, tenacity, unbreakable, and not flip flop. What's the one where you can pick yourself up
Power
as Nick
Struggle?
Cage? It's the Nick Cage perk.
Power plot twist.
Plot twist.
Plot
yes.
twist, yeah.
And I just thought they were hilarious builds, and it looked a lot of fun. That was my
Bark,
dog.
bark.
Yeah.
You can plot twist while you're broken still, right?
I believe so. Yes.
I figure that might be the change that they do to make this kind of an okay perk. It's not a problem at all when you combo it with all of those perks and you make a whole build about being on the floor and getting off of the floor.
Yeah.
It's not really that much of an important thing. But when you consider these end game scenarios where the only leverage a killer can make is slugging, you consider these perks to be just it. That's it. As soon as you stop a survivor from staying on the ground, the slugging mechanic disappears. It's no longer a viable way to just leave someone bleeding out.
Yeah, I love this perk. It just seems kind of goofy and situational, but I love that, and it was a lot of fun to use when I used it. We also have Last Stand. After spending some time in the killer's terror radius while not in chase, when you fast vault, stun the killer for 3 seconds if they're within 2.5 meters of that vault, and then the perk is disabled after 1 use. This is the one that I've been seeing get a lot of heat, I guess. Like, you can get vault saves now, which is pretty amazing. So I'm also super excited to try this out. However, it's only 1 use, so how do we feel about that? Maddie, I'll jump to you first.
Okay, honestly, this is a hot take. I know I'm probably wrong. I honestly don't think Last Stand is that bad. Only because Head On exists.
Yes.
And when that came out, people were scared of Head On. They're like, oh, this is going to be abused. This is going to be awful. And like, yeah, Boy Scouts can use it a lot. But to me, Last Stand, it really shouldn't just be a one-time per game thing, in my opinion. I know this is unpopular, but how common do you think a survivor is going to be in front of a vault and you're going to pick them up and you get stunned? And like after the first time it happens, you'll probably be prepared for it again if someone else has the perk, because if that happens once, someone's already doing
I
it.
agree. I think Last Stand should get a little buff where it's not an exhaustion perk per se, but like after spending some time in the killer's terror radius, when you fast vault, stun the killer for 3 seconds. However, if you are exhausted, this perk doesn't work. I think that could be a good change where you can use it multiple times in a game, but now you can't like live Last Stand every single time. Now you
Exactly.
can't like use head on and then last stand every single time. Now it's
And like,
like you pick one exhaustion or the other.
yeah, and like if people are super, super scared about it, then they can just say, oh, instead of 3 seconds, it's like 2 seconds, and you have to be 2 meters closer.
Cool.
Like you can make it a lot more precise so that it
Much
feels
more.
less like a get out of jail free card and more of a tool to be like, I'm gonna run to a new loop. But it's not just like I can run across the map loop, it's like the I need to go to the loop next to me now. So yeah, that's my hot take. Last Stand is not that bad, in my opinion. I know it's probably wrong, but I don't
No,
think it's that bad.
I totally agree with you. I think I have a comment here. I think that maybe they should give this some tokens, like maybe put some tokens on it, and you have to stay
Yes.
within that killer terror radius to gain those, like distortion. Although distortion's in chase now, but we're like it would work like old distortion. So I think what maybe
Tokens would be interesting. Oh, I'm
yeah.
thinking about that now. Like, what if you use the first one and then the killer's in their stun? Would it have a cooldown, or could you just use the next one immediately before
Oh
they
gosh,
could leave the terror radius?
it would absolutely have to have a
You just
cooldown.
chain last stands. That's not really a last stand if you have more than one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and I also agree with you, Maddie. Is in like 2.5 meters. I don't think it's a lot. Like, how often are you picking up people near a vault location? Like, I don't think this is. If it's a pallet, break the pallet. If it's a window, look around a little bit and then go for it, like you would picking up a survivor on a pallet where they're downed. So
Last
2.5
stand
meters
stuns
isn't
are going to
bad.
be so cool to see. It's going to be
Oh,
really fun
Oh,
watching
yeah. I can't
someone just
wait.
run at the killer picking up by the shack window.
Yeah, totally. I can't wait. And then Michonne has a teamwork perk, throwdown. When you pallet stun or blind the killer, other injured survivors within 24 meters gain endurance, and you see the killer's aura for up to 10 seconds. This is great. I like this. The injured survivor gets some endurance, so maybe they have been tunneled a little bit, and you could help them out and maybe get them some distance.
It's an idea. I mean, if you have endurance and the killer is stunned, I think they're stunned for 2.5 seconds. So they won't be able to hit you for a quarter of your endurance time. However, if the killer is trying to really tunnel you, or they just picked you up and you got pallet saved, and the killer is still gunning for you, that 2.5 seconds doesn't really matter. They will be chasing you right down out of their arms. So 8 seconds of, basically endurance when you should have been dead before is totally worth it. Also blinds as well. So very much you can put this on your champion of light build and watch the survivor run off that just got tunneled, and then they get hit and they have endurance again, and then you have so much more value out of your flashlight blinds now, just off teamwork throwdown.
Love
So I
champion
could
light.
see this working a lot with flashlight builds, with altruistic background player type builds,
So be good.
really forcing the value out of it.
Yes.
Any final thoughts on Michonne or Rick's perks before we move on to our little map tile edition?
Rick, boo. Michonne,
I'm down with that. And then I guess we have several cosmetics for Michonne coming. It is just Michonne so far what we've seen, but I expect them in the future to add Maggie or Carol or some other characters down the line.
Right. Glenn,
Use
maybe?
the female rig like they've been using. If we saw Glenn skin, that would be so much fun. I hope they get actors' permissions to use their likeness so we can get everyone.
Absolutely.
hello.
But what we get.
Looking forward to it. And so we don't get a map, but we get a Fallen Refuge map tile edition. It is essentially a Walking Dead hospital themed tile for the Garden of Joy, correct?
Yes, yeah.
I have
On the
thoughts.
PTB right now, you can test it out, but it's only in its current state as a showcase map where they call it the Fallen Refuge, and it's kind of just like a couple tiles meant to be reminiscent of like the Withered Isles maps, with this Fallen Refuge tile that they designed, where it's a kind of a scaled model in Dead by Daylight of a hallway that would exist in that hospital Rick finds himself waking up in AMC's The Walking Dead episode 1 season 1. So
It's so
it's your
good.
classic don't open, dead inside. What doors? Don't inside, dead open.
No.
Whichever version.
It'll be like just kind of a simple pallet loop but the simple ones are usually the strong ones. It'll just be like tall walls, hallway, placed in the open, so it's a really good line of sight breaker. Could spawn a generator and a pallet, bunch of zombies hanging from the walls.
Hell yeah.
I
But
wonder.
we won't see it as a map when it comes to live. I'm pretty sure this is not how it is intended to be played. It's
Yeah.
just a single tile that's new. So they're just going to take that single tile and kind of place it in replacement of any single other tile in the Garden of Joy, which makes me think this will probably spawn either in between shack and the garage, or not the garage, the parking lot, where like the kind of car loop is. It might replace one of those jungle gyms, or it might be behind the house, like off to the right side, where that like yard is. Might spawn there, where like the tree and the generator usually are. I could see it being there, tucked away in the corner.
I have so many thoughts about this.
Go for it.
I do not like this approach because, like, even if it's just a reskin for an existing tile, which in my experience on the PTB, I didn't really find any tiles that looked like it. I might just be going crazy, but I feel like that was an entirely new loop. I don't like the precedent of the setting of if you don't own a survivor that is licensed and you pay money for it, you don't get that loop. You don't get
They
that.
went
perk.
back on that. It's not gonna happen like that. The community like forums had a community manager post about like 6 days ago, as of recording, that this will just spawn. It won't require Rick or Michonne. I know
Oh,
they
thank
mentioned
God.
that. It's not
Thanks.
gonna happen. It's
God.
not. Their maps are free for everyone. You can play on the map randomly, even if it's a licensed map. They're not gonna gatekeep a tile just because somebody
Okay.
doesn't have a character.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that they cleared that up then because I would have hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will not have to play as Rick and or Michonne to get this
That
one
one
tile to
tile.
spawn. No.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, besides that, I think the tile and like the idea of it is okay. I don't have any strong feelings about it. It's not like a super strong or super weak tile. It's just kind of there. I like the nods to the show, but yeah, that's about it for me.
Do we know why they didn't do a tile or maybe some ambiance with Larry's instead of Larry's? They did Larry's instead of this. Like, Larry's is a hospital, after all. Like, I figured
Yeah.
they can include that don't open dead inside door pretty easily in there. But, like, it seems like Withered Isle just seems to be kind of like their, I don't want to say catch-all, because that kind of sounds like
It's
they're not
their
putting
baby
effort.
girl.
Yeah, like, I know it's kind of a new realm, and they're kind of adding to it, but I just find it a little odd.
Right. Under the hood of things, I think Larry's might be too static of a map for them to change.
Yeah.
There might be a way for them to like gut the main building and replace the library with something else at some point. Give Larry's a 50-50 shot to have a different main section and a different library section.
Yeah.
But I could see Larry's needing a lot more work to change. Garden of Joy is kind of built as a really generic map under the hood
That's fair.
with a couple large tiles to fill a lot of the space.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it's not something we knew was coming either, so this is kind of an unexpected surprise. Very cool. I'm excited to see it in person. I didn't see it in the PTB when I played a few games, so very much looking forward to seeing it. It looked like it had some zombie ambiance too, so looking forward to it.
It better. It's The Walking Dead.
Let's move on to survivor items. We have a couple changes to the keys and maps, and we also have a new survivor item, aka a fog crystal or void crystal or whatever you want to call it, but it recharges. So fog vials, there are 3 variants. There are 5 different add-ons. These are brand new. It has 1 charge, and that recharges over time. They have a 33% opacity, but there are add-ons that can increase that. And it essentially suppresses scratch marks and aura reading. They last up to 8 to 10 to 12 seconds, and they recharge after 70, 65, and 60 seconds. I'm stoked for this. I played around with this a little bit, and I loved it. I didn't think the opacity was that bad, and I have long been wanting more ways to suppress aura reading. There's a fuck ton of aura reading in this game, especially on the killer side, and I don't think distortion or off the record are good enough. I think distortion's fine. I mean, I don't think it was gutted, but it definitely was nerfed. And for the better reasons. But I definitely think we've needed some aura reading suppression in some way. So I think I'm going to start running this a little more often.
I think that'll have a lot of high-level use cases like that, where as aura reading is a tough thing to kind of know is happening. If you're able to block the killer's aura reading, it's because you know they have a specific build. You're kind of rewarding yourself for your own game knowledge. Being able to play with that and bring a fog vial that helps you reward yourself and play better because you know the killer's using barbecue. Oh, I shouldn't be chased right here. How did they find me? Next time they hook someone, I'm just going to hide in my own fog smoke. It'll work. It's a cute little way to play.
Yeah. Maddie, any thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't super stoked for the fog vial because I was like, oh, it's just gonna be the void crystal again. But seeing how they did it, I like it a lot more than I thought it would. Because not only does it kind of add some like gameplay ability to counter aura reading, it also gives people just a new way to play the game, which I didn't really think about on my first thoughts when I was theorizing that it was probably going to be a void crystal. I was disappointed. But seeing how they implemented it, I actually don't mind it. I kind of wish there was a few more add-ons, but like
Same.
as done, I actually kind of think it's pretty great, and I can't wait to use it in live.
Can't wait to see like somebody using that I forget the name of the skin, but there's like the Adam Francis skin. I love using the like anniversary mask on him with the big flowy robes. I'm gonna be Ninja Adam Francis from now on and just run around with smoke vials.
That's so funny.
I think it'll be either like a brown or a yellow add-on coming with the fog vial, and that one really catches my eye where it'll make the fog kind of spread out faster.
Yeah.
But the numbers
Yes.
on it look so silly that I think it goes from like 1.2 seconds to 0.2 seconds. So as soon as you activate the smoke, in a fifth of a second, you're just surrounded in it. I think that'll be the best add-on to use for it. Forget the purples and the iridescent add-on. Go for like the quick smoke one. That's my guess.
Yeah, I expect them to add more add-ons as time goes on, as they think of them. But at launch, we'll have 5. Moving on, we have key changes. Keys are better now. Yay! So charges. So charges are essentially, they no longer are the amount of time used, but they're essentially the number of uses you have. So opening a chest, opening the hatch, channeling, all those will consume 1 charge, rather than if you were to use it on a hatch, it just consumes it on use. And channeling now default shows survivors' auras to the key user. Opening a chest with a key is faster. I think it's like immediately.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think I saw a video of someone open it just opens immediately, essentially. Keys reveal the open chest to survivors and let another survivor rummage once, so that's really cool. The rummaging survivor has their aura revealed to the key user, so that's cool. And then unlocking hatch now doesn't destroy the key. You'll keep it, but it will just consume 1 charge. And essentially, this makes all keys viable now. You don't have to just have a pink or a purple key. Thank God, because why would you ever bring a green or I guess it's not green anymore, it's blue. Is there a brown key, too?
It's still the green key.
There is
No,
no
it's still the green
Okay,
key.
gotcha. Oh, yeah. It's
Right?
I'm
Or is
so
it blue?
happy.
No, it's blue.
I think it's blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I'm so
It's
happy because
blue? The broken key is blue? I need to.
Broken key is blue.
My world has been shaken. Okay, never mind. I need to
it
catch
used
up.
to be green until they made blue rarity.
Yeah.
I know, but I thought that one wasn't touched. I'm sorry. I thought they got rid of yellow
No,
for
it's
blue
okay.
and not yellow to green to green to blue. I'm sorry.
We didn't need the rarity color change. I don't know why that's a thing. We did not need that.
It's to be Fortnite. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Get ready
right.
for the Battle Royale mode added to Dead by Daylight.
But despite
Come on.
despite that, Batty, what do you think of these key changes?
Pretty good, honestly. I don't know if the broken key has any huge changes. I think it can still be. I think it can actually be
Oh
used
my God,
without
the broken
add-ons.
key is going to become brown now.
Oh, that's nice.
It's going to be
'cause, like,
brown now and have 6 charges.
Okay.
I'm glad because like broken key used to be absolutely useless. Like the amount of
Yeah.
times I did like a chest build and I got a broken key
Oh my
with useless
God,
add-ons
terrible.
that made it so I did nothing. It made me so upset. 'Cause it's like, what's the point? And the amount of times I would get my blood web, it's like I don't want to use this, but now it actually has purpose, and that makes me very happy.
Totally agree. Stevie, any other thoughts?
That's it. The broken key has its place now. It's kind of just a useless item where if you accidentally picked it up, at least you can see your survivors nearby. And
Exactly.
as soon as you use it up, put it on the ground and forget about it.
Yeah, and maps were changed similarly, so they are also less. Right? They're also not number of uses, right? They're also
Exactly.
yeah.
Both of them went from burning down a clock of seconds where you ran out of one charge every second.
Right.
Now they just have one use, one charge.
Mm-hmm.
That charge supplies you with a buff for
and-
X amount of time.
And maps now reveal windows and palettes, like windows of opportunity, like they mentioned. And you can create just base kit without an add-on. You can create beams of light that survivors can see and hear. Only survivors. So the killer isn't going to be alerted to this. Cool changes. I mean,
Jesus beam for you.
yeah. So these are cool changes. I'm glad these items are getting a little more love because we know flashlights, medkits, and toolboxes were always kind of the supreme champion of survivor items.
It's interesting what they're doing with the maps because the beam is also getting a bit of a buff. It's no longer like the glass bead. We're now kind of getting the glass bead plus the purple bead. Sorry, it was a yellow and a purple add-on. The purple add-on's the glass bead. There's a yellow add-on that gives the beam. The purple add-on lets you see auras. And the beam is now going to give other survivors the auras of gens around it.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
it's going to be kind of a mix of what Deja Vu used to give you, where Deja Vu would work on the map you were holding and show you generators. Now you can use a beam to show other survivors generators close by.
Okay, that's about it for items. Let's get into some killer updates. Behaviors touching some killers maybe they shouldn't have, and some that they definitely should. For example, the Executioner, Pyramid Head's getting some big old buffs. And
They like to stir the pot. It's
kind
good.
yeah,
I think
kind
it's
of
good.
crazy buffs for Pyramid Head. I almost said Punisher for Pyramid Head. He, I only have a few notes here just because I don't play Pyramid Head a lot, but essentially buffs all around and a lot of big add-on buffs, some of which are probably overtuned from what I've seen. He's got an Eerie now that can injure and destroy pallets and breakable walls. That is kind of crazy because I don't think it should do both. Like I saw a clip maybe hours
I think he
ago.
should have low pro trails.
I think it should work similar to Nemesis's Tentacle, where he can either injure someone or he can break the pallet, but he shouldn't be able to do both, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the implication that if someone's behind a wall and you were still going to damage them anyway, sacrificing you, like, having your line of sight blocked is, like, I think you should still be rewarded. I think it's totally fine that this Iridescent add-on will, like, break a wall on Midwich, a notably already pretty fun killer map. Would be kind of tough. But for all the other changes he's getting, I think that's the least of it. He's going to have base kit, better range. He's going to be able to hit you behind walls so much sooner that I think it'll be fun to play around with, and just keeping it consistent is still fine.
Yeah. Maddie, your thoughts?
Okay, I have some thoughts. I used to play Pinhead a bit more than I do now,
Do you mean Pyramid Head?
but
Triangle Man?
Triangle Man, yes. Did I say Pinhead?
Yeah, you did. Don't worry.
Pyramid Head, the Executioner. I used to play him quite a bit, believe it or not, after I called him Pinhead. But I definitely think he needed an add-on pass, so I'm really happy about it. And it looks like they took him in a really good direction where they made him have a lot of powerful add-ons. However, like you said, there are some add-ons that need to be changed. One of them that I don't see a lot of people talking about, this could be me being Delulu. I could have read the add-on wrong, but for me, I feel like there's some really busted add-ons like the Scarlet Egg, which is a very rare add-on that makes it so survivors afflicted by trails of torment and are tormented, they create new trails when they run. The problem is that the Pyramid Head, or the Executioner, he can see all the trails across the map, including ones that are being created by the people running. Meaning, if you're tormented and you're running, he basically gets perma wall hacks on you for the rest of the game until you get rid of it, which isn't a bad problem until you learn to get rid of that. You need to unhook somebody or get someone out of a cage.
Yeah.
So it kind of becomes this problem where he always knows where to go and who to go for. And as soon as there's no more trails, he just puts new ones, gets people on the trail, leaves, and keeps spreading it around. It's like Plague, but worse.
It is that is a plague iridescent add-on. You're right. For a purple add-on, getting the power of a plague eerie, I think it is a little
it's not
overkill.
great. Like there is the small thing that you have to be running for these trails to be created, which
Yeah.
allows you to see people through the walls.
So
And
okay, so it'll be. I think this will be a little more like Renjiro's glove. Like Oni, where if they're bringing the add-on to, if a survivor's bleeding and they touch the blood, Oni gets the aura. This is a whole
yeah,
add-on. However, it comes with the downside that now survivors can see the blood as kind of like a
yeah,
way to tell you that Oni can get your aura right now.
yeah.
You'll see the blood that you're kind of absorbing. If you're able to see the trail while you're running, I mean, why not just walk everywhere? You
Well,
know,
you do see the new trail being made, but the problem is if you have to walk everywhere, you're so slow now. Like you could save you so much time
this
to
is true.
unhook somebody, to
This
get
is
to a
true.
gen, or stuff like that. I just feel like it's kind of problematic. And even though I really like the direction the add-ons went and how powerful they are, some of them definitely need to be tuned down, such as the Scarlet Egg.
Yeah, he's also got a lot of add-ons that increase the length of Judgment Damned, and I've seen some crazy trick shots of people hitting those. So it's like so far away, like 20, I think 25 meters plus.
Oh,
It's
that's
insane.
good.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
I
you
think
know,
yeah, it's the eerie add-on that lets you kind of charge up the distance.
yeah,
Or
it's
is it
insane.
yeah,
It's incredible how far people were getting hit. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm sure there'll be
I'm
some
into it.
adjustments before it comes to live. And then in addition, they changed how his cages work. Uncaged survivors now get base kit endurance, and uncaging now rewards 2,000 BP. So I'm happy with the endurance change because I've always seen, not always, but I've seen, Pyramid Head kind of go for the uncaged survivor because they know they don't have endurance. They can just immediately uncage them, like the old unhooking was. So glad that's been changed. The clown is not getting as much love as the executioner. They nerfed his ad for Peace Tonic, which, if you're unfamiliar, is his purple bottle that hinders you, to encourage players to use his antidote, which is the yellow bottle, a bit more. From what I've seen from the community, most people are not in favor of this. I think behavior.
I wanted clown nerfed so bad.
I do too.
Not like
I
this.
do
Not
too.
like this. Not like this though.
I think the counterplay for clown is, kind of non-existent in a lot
Yeah,
of ways.
right. That's
Like,
what I wanted. I wanted counterplay for clown.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to be having to throw 7 bottles at me just to slow me down enough
Yeah.
to stop pre-dropping everything.
Yeah.
It kind of was already risky to pre-drop everything and just loop it, but now it's so much that the clown will have to mix you up and get you out of position every single time to get any hit. If you're not already someone who was, getting downed by the clown very often, you are going to have such an easy time escaping. All of these like missed hits are going to be so much more frequent with purple bottle changes like this, and the clown having to use yellows so much more.
Yeah, I'm curious if they'll revert some of these changes or tweak them, but from what I've seen, a lot of people aren't super happy. Clown mains, I'm sure, are not super thrilled with some of these
It'll
changes.
probably not be noticeable on like the day-to-day player, but anyone who is really cough playing clown too much.
Maybe find a new main. I don't know.
I think it's more healthy for the game where if a killer was strong and not picked that often was causing a lot of problems, it's fine to kind of tune them down a bit.
Yeah, I know when I go against clown, I'm like, oh, I'm probably not going to get out of this game because that's how it usually goes.
Yeah, because they can kind of just pick who gets to die, and if you don't show
Yeah.
yourself, you don't die. But the clown can kind of just put someone on the ground. They might not stop y'all before the gens are done, but they are gonna kill whoever they see. That's just the clown.
Maddie, your thoughts on clown?
I am not Clown's favorite player ever. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm his biggest hater. If Clown has no haters, I'm dead. If he has one hater, I'm one of them. If he has 1,000 haters, I am all 1,000 of them. I do not like Clown. But I do have to admit that these buffs don't really solve the issue I have with Clown. That being his gameplay going against him is basically just dropping down ballots as soon as you get to them,
Yeah.
running to a new tile, and doing that ad nauseum until he either runs out of bottles and reloads, or he leaves you alone, or until he eventually catches you. And I thought that was really annoying, and I hate the disorienting fact because it used to get me really sick when it still had that swirling effect
Yeah,
on the
it was really
screen when he
bad.
first came out. And like I just kind of hated it ever
I
since.
believe you, girl. Like it's screen effects like that are sometimes fine for most people, but it's some things will
Not
just
for
hit
me.
you. Yeah,
Not for me.
100%. I have
So
enough
yeah,
stories of people who got motion sick trying to play Portal, one of my favorite games, that I'm like, totally fair. I get it. Me playing Left 4 Dead and stuff like that, the adrenaline vials would give me like kind of motion sickness, and it shouldn't. It's just
yes,
like a little thing, but things like
yeah.
clown gas.
But
So,
yeah, I'm not a big fan of him, but I do agree that these changes to him aren't really solving the issue at all. They're just kind of making the same issue again, just in a different font. That being, oh, now instead of using purple bottles to slow you down, he's gonna go to a loop. He's gonna throw bottles down to get speed, making sure you can't get to them until he gets to a point where he can go through it, hit you, but you can't get to it, and it's just gonna become more annoying. And you're just gonna hear fast breaking noise,
real.
and it's just gonna be awful.
Yeah, totally agree.
Sorry, I'm very passionate about this.
No, you're good. I also do not like going against Clown. I think that counterplay is not fun, and I just don't think it fits into the core mechanics of DbD. So I'm interested to see what they do. Maybe they'll revert them and kind of come back to them later, but maybe we'll see what they do before live. The pig, guys, the pig got nerfed. JK, the pig was buffed.
She got buffed she got buffed sky high.
Yeah,
I am surprised they did this.
me too. Because we actually, what was it, last year, a couple years ago? They don't rework her, but they did some tweaks where she like couldn't see her.
They gave her a
traps and
full
stuff.
add-on pass that
Yeah.
I would say kind of just changed the way her add-ons, gave you their stuff. Instead of just being strict, you either make the game unfun or you make the game kind of more comfortable. There was no in between. It was either you make your gameplay a little more smooth or you make their gameplay so terrible that maybe you win this. And then they changed all that and they kind of gave it a middle ground where you're going to make things a little tougher for them and it's going to feel a little better to do. And we're going to give you this gradient scale of things like that, where you have these tools to have you have a fun time fucking with the survivors, but it won't be too strong until you get to the tough tamper timer level add-ons.
Oh yeah, gosh.
These buffs kind of put her in my mind as the dream killer I had when I started playing the game. When I first got Pig and I was like, they should make her crouch speed 1-to-1 with survivor move speed. They did this right now. It's on the PTV. Her crouch speed is going to be 0.8 seconds? And this baffles me, because when I started playing, it was like 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, it was so slow. It was insane.
And they're not touching a lot of the add-ons that would affect numbers like this.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, they didn't say they were going to touch combat straps. So if it still works the way it works, you're going to be able to crouch in like the 0.6 seconds, maybe. I think that's a little silly. I really do. But also, sure, Pig could go with a buff. I'm not too mad. I think I'm going to have to play ambush-only Pig from now on. In that similar sense where once a hillbilly learns they shouldn't M1, they can always chainsaw. I'm learning the same thing. They made her dash stronger than M1ing in every situation now.
That's great. Report back on your findings. I'm excited. I don't play
Got
Pig
it.
much, but when I do, I'm just like,
I play only
terrible.
Pig.
I'm
Only
terrible
Pig and
at
Hound
Pig.
Master.
I always forget to put party hats on people that when I pick them up, and then I hook them. I'm like, oh wait, that's my ability. I should
I
start.
love
doing
saving
that.
them for later. I don't act like I forget. I intentionally
okay.
hang on to them. It's fun. That's also it.
It's
Never
all
tell
fun
yourself you
strat.
forgot. Putting a hat on a Death Hook survivor, they don't know what to do with themselves.
I'll try that. I'll have to play her again. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for her to get buffed. I know the meme has always been Nerf Pig, so they're buffing Pig.
The meme has been Nerf Pig, and she has never gotten a nerf that I can see in patch notes. I am being honest. The only time they wanted to give her any sort of nerf any sort was a couple more seconds, 20 more seconds on the tamper timer, or on the head trap timer, of kind of reverse tamper timer. And that got screamed at and yelled at and shot down. They will never nerf Pig. She will only get buffed, even after today.
Cool. Maddie, any final thoughts on Pig?
I don't really play Pig, but I'm happy for all the Pigmains out there. She finally got buffed. She did get nerfed.
It's not finally. This is what I'm trying to say. It's not finally.
And
Every
then,
year.
yeah, it is weird that they do it almost semi-annually or annually with Pig. So it'll be interesting what they do next year. Then we have the Knight, who also somewhat got some changes that are probably bad. I don't quite. I'm okay. I'm gonna be like Maddie.
Do you
with
really
Cloud.
understand
I'm not a
the
Knight.
changes?
Part of me does and doesn't. So let me read these out just so we have them out in the air. Increased patrol path length and path speed. That's a good thing, right? Like you can
Yes,
go
that
further
is good.
and they move faster along that path. Drawing the path is
Yippee.
more responsive for the Knight. That seems great. But they decrease
They
the
added-
spawn times on the... Oh, okay. They decrease spawn times for the banner, standard for assassin, and jailer. Increase the spawn time on the banner and standard for Carnifex. So in the patch notes, I didn't see banner listed, and I was unfamiliar with that.
They
So-
put the word standard in there,
Gotcha.
which kind of mixes you up because your brain kind of wants to ignore the word standard because it means regular. But this
Yeah.
is the thing. The standard is what the game calls this flag, this banner that shows up when you get
Gotcha.
chased by the Knight's Ghost.
That
It's
you
your
can
only
get.
real counterplay to the
Yeah.
Night
Yeah.
Ghost. Things like the assassin will run faster than you. They will hit you after X amount of time, depending on when they caught you. Things like
Yeah.
the jailer will chase you forever, and they will not stop, so you will have to run forever. The guy like the Carnifex, he doesn't do either of those. He's slower, but he can break things faster, so he's not intended to chase guys, but he has his own purpose.
I have to say though, these are some of the changes to the standard times are so dumb. I'm sorry, I'm a hater.
Yeah. Are you a Knight player?
I'm not. Okay, yes, I don't play him as much as like Vecna, but I do enjoy playing him because I like having little minions. However, I think these changes are dumb. Just, like the first half, awesome, yay! But like the whole banner thing is what I really dislike because it doesn't really fix any of the issues that Knight has. That being kind of the spamming playstyle of sending guard after guard after guard
Yeah.
at someone until eventually they get downed. And it did get better eventually, but these changes are going back to that specifically because by increasing the spawn timer for the banner for Carnifex, it's making it so you want to send him more out, but you're using him for pallets. So if you send him out by accident and he gets somebody, you're going to be waiting 8 years for him to finish chasing that person before you can use him to break a pallet or a gen. And decreasing the spawn timers for the assassin and jailer make it so the ones that you want to be chasing are going to be kicked out so much quicker. Because to me, the banners are supposed to be used to punish people who don't go and get them if they're nearby and they're not in chase. But in chase, they're supposed to be like a good way to like kind of like. Sorry, my thoughts are all over the place.
No,
Okay.
but you're right. This is, for Knights against good players, this is everything that will shut you down.
Exactly.
For your
Like-
own playstyle of keeping macro pressure and making sure every survivor is kind of like pressured into either staying away from your generators or being in chase with you or one of your guards, this kind of hurts that. You're
Yeah.
prioritized to spend more time setting up ghosts than actually chasing with them because they're so much weaker now. If somebody wants to defuse your 3-gen, all they have to do is run in front of your jailer and catch the banner in 4 seconds. And now that
Exactly.
line that took you 5-10 seconds to set up perfectly is gone.
Yeah, and like you never really want to send out Carnifex to chase people anyway, so you don't really understand why they decided to make his banner take longer to spawn. And the other two that you do want to have a longer time so they can try and chase someone while you're doing another thing. People can just get so much quicker now. So it's like, what's the point of sending them all the way out
There is
there
a
if people
bunch
can
of
get so
numbers
quickly?
happening under the hood, which maybe this will feel better in game. Maybe these numbers don't really show off what's happening because things like the distance that the Knight is from his guard's banner or from the chase being happening with a ghost and a survivor will depend on how far away the knight is. If the knight is further away, the chase will last longer, they will be hunted for longer, the banner will spawn after a longer duration. If the knight is further away, to kind of incentivize this macro pressure.
I'm just a hater. I'm sorry.
You can be a hater because these numbers don't look good. I don't think it'll be that fun for old knights and new knights.
I'll also say, as someone who, I don't go against knight a lot, I don't see a lot of knights, but when I do, I typically don't have a problem looping him or his guards. And I've always thought the banner spawns were okay, like as a survivor, I had never thought like, oh man, it hasn't spawned yet, this is crazy. But I think they were in a good spot. I actually had a recent game against a knight who we did exceptionally well against. I think as someone who doesn't play knight, I don't really know how these feel. I just don't like his gameplay. That's not my kind of cup of tea, but it sucks that knight players are kind of experiencing this.
They really buffed his counterplay out the roof.
Yeah, hopefully we see those reverted. Yeah, maybe they'll revert them. We'll see. That is all the killer updates. We also have some hook updates. So if there are only 2 survivors remaining and 1 survivor is on second stage, if they miss 2 struggle checks, they will immediately die, so the other person can maybe get hatched sooner. This is a great change. I think most people were complaining about this since the change when if missing 2 doesn't automatically
the
kill
go
you,
next prevention, they just blanket turn that feature off.
Yeah, so this is kind of reverting that a little bit, which is good because I think this is great when you're a Swift and you're just like, oh, just die so I can maybe get hatched. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
We also have some loadout presets. They increased the number from 3 to 7. You can name them now, and it supports cosmetics and perks. This is awesome. I tested this out in the PTB. I wanted to put Ricky Dicky Doodog Grimes in the loadout. Unfortunately, that does not all fit. So my one ask is behavior. Please increase the character count is all I'm asking.
That's an easy fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any thoughts here that you guys want to shout out?
Just happy.
Yeah.
Yippee.
I like that they bundled cosmetic with it because I would forget to change the cosmetics. And it's fun to have a certain outfit aligned with a certain build. You know, the particularly nasty outfit with the particularly nasty build.
Well said, well said. And as someone who plays as Ripley and only wears maybe 1 cosmetic that she has because the rest are kind of dookie, we definitely needed this. Then we have some perk changes. There were actually a lot of perk changes in this. Mostly a lot of just
Mostly
buffs.
all numbers.
Yeah,
a lot of numbers went up or down.
Used. Yeah, and I wanted to kind of cover some here just so people listening are familiar. Mainly reworks. Overwhelming Presence got a rework. When a survivor starts using an item within 30 meters of you, they gain exhausted for 15 seconds. When a survivor within 13 meters of you gains exhausted, you see the closest exhausted survivor's aura for 2, 3, 4 seconds. The perk has a 25-second cooldown. I feel like we're going to see this a lot. You know, another aura reading perk, which is cool. And I think the old version of this was just kind of not great. Franklin's Demise, it no longer causes dropped items to lose charges, and they increase the distance you can see dropped items. This is probably a change because they changed how charges on maps and
Very much so, yeah.
keys work.
If you have these 2 killer perks that are supposed to be affecting survivor item charges, assuming that they function in percents of seconds, now we are looking at survivor items that are working in full charges. Either it's a med kit that's using 16 charges. You can't really work with that the same way as a key that's only using 1 charge at a time. If you're doing like percents of those 2 numbers, they're wildly different. You have to affect item use in kind of a blanket way where beginning to use the item is the only thing you can affect.
Yeah, that's definitely a reason why they dropped that action on that perk for sure. And then treat-wise rework, so the first time you deplete an item with charges, see the killer's aura for 8 seconds. Items with charges retrieved from chests have a 60, 70, and 80% plus charges. That's kind of crazy to me. I don't know if anyone else thinks that's crazy, but I think that's 80% more charges. That's wild.
Yeah,
know.
your key
definitely
will last almost twice as long. You know, your med kit received from a chest will be incredibly strong.
Yeah.
I
I
think
definitely think these are
streetwise, Ace in the
good changes.
Hole,
I agree.
Plunderers, all that stuff is going to be really tasty. Item builds are always sky high. So much fun.
Maddie, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, I really like the direction of this perk. Before, it was very mid. Now
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
It's much better now.
Question mark?
Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
they're each of these roasteries updates have had big chunks of perks kind of being tweaked and kind of improved. So I mean, none of it's enough to shake up the meta, I don't think, but still a lot of fun and makes a lot more perks viable. Cool. Well, that is the end of episode 4. That flew by. It's kind of crazy. Thank you all, listeners. If you want to send us in a question, remember you can send us an email at redstainradio@gmail.com. Send us in your questions, comments, ideas for future lore discussions, or general discussions about anything DbD related, or even within the licenses that it houses. You can also send us feedback. We'd love to hear it. Please share the podcast with your friends and families. We would love to get new listeners, and hopefully we're reaching you on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you, Stevie, Maddie, and thank you all for listening. We'll see you in the fog next week.